Winning more fights in Fortnite is actually a very simple and easily achievable goal. All you need to do is apply these fundamental tips to your game, and you will become as good as the pros. The first point I want to target is whether or not you should be using Confirm Edit on release. A lot of players agree that having Confirm Edit on release off is the best option when it comes to being a more efficient or better fighter. This includes Clicks, Malabuka, and Quisi. Only having these three pros play without the setting might turn you to believe that this setting isn't good. But what if I told you Booga, Cooper, and even Peterbot use Confirm Edit on release? So you might be thinking, what is it then? Well, I don't know.
You suck.
Okay. I know this response is very vague, but the truth is, both sides have their own pros and cons. You just need to see which one fits your playstyle the best. I do not use Confirm Edit on release because of all of these, but you might want to because of these. A very crucial factor of fighting is knowing how to properly attack an enemy's box. This isn't the correct way, neither is this. Actual pro-level players know the fact of diversifying the enemy's attention. The more distributed the enemy's attention, the more distributed is his focus, hence giving you a bigger window of opportunity to BOP his. Sorry for that. So, here's how you can properly attack the enemy's box. Always start off with a variant of the right-hand peek. It's your choice whether you want to go above, on the side, or you want to go down on the enemy. I prefer to be leveled or above the enemy. You should always prefer to have two boxes on the side as such, and always make sure these cones and walls are present in your boxes. Think of these as your protection for the night. I meant fight for the fight. Always make sure that you never just run up straight in front of the wall and start pickaxing like this, even if the enemy is low on health. It's just not worth the risk of him getting a lucky pre-fire or a huge headshot. Whenever they try fighting back in this method, you can easily counter by resetting and having consistent angle changes. By the way, subscribe if you are watching on a TV, phone, tablet, PS4, PS5, Xbox. Phasing is a great way to catch your enemy off guard, but in the end, it is still a 50-50, meaning there is an equal chance of you getting eliminated as much as the other player. Even after all that, I still use a lot of phases in my fights, especially the stare phase and the momentum phase. Phasing is all about timing of when to use the phase itself and timing of when to click the right buttons. The stare phase is quite easy to do. Just place a stare like this in front of the enemy's box and jump exactly on the last swing of the pickaxe. Now, of course, you should do this as quick as possible and in the most random way possible to make it highly unlikely the enemy doesn't predict it. The momentum phase is also a great phasing technique that pros such as Peterbot use a ton. All you have to do in this is use your momentum and shooting timing to phase into your enemy's box. Of course, this specific phase is much more likely to work better if you have lower ping. I advise learning phases in actual 1 versus 1s, which is way more effective than any other method. You could play my 1v1 map to do this. Please and thank you. The last of the main fundamentals you need to know is the ability to pre-fire and the ability to counter pre-fires. Learning how to pre-fire is one of the most effective ways of countering aggressive players or just the general spammer. This map by Martos is great and pretty simple when it comes to practicing your pre-fires. Make sure to also build into your muscle memory the ability to instantly place a wall after you shoot. This allows for you to be protected in case of the enemy shooting back after. Countering pre-fires is also quite simple. First of all, make sure to use the wall taking technique that we saw in the video earlier, and you should be able to predict what the enemy does and reset the walls or edit the cones before he shoots. If the enemy is waiting for you to break the wall to pre-fire, then there are some dead giveaways for this, like the enemy not holding his blueprint as much as he should, or him constantly removing his shotgun on every potential swing you try to take. The best way to counter this is pickaxe until the wall is 1 health, and then pickaxe bait to make the enemy in turn shoot and break the wall, which will give you a short but good enough window to get a shot at him. Though your pull-out game has to be top-notch to achieve this, comment down below how fast you pull out. Actually, on second thought, I don't want to know. Subscribe if this video gave you any value and use code NHZ in the Fortnite item shop.